back to social studies. Children, in this class, we are going to discuss about the remaining topics of geography lesson 3, mineral and power resources. Already we have discussed about minerals, right? Now we are going to see about power resources. See children, power or energy plays a vital role in our lives. Yes? Do you agree? Yes, we must agree, right? Because if we enter into the house, immediately what we will do? Immediately we will put on light or we will put on fan, right? Then if we see in the kitchen, fridge, what is that? Mixie, grinder, right? Even water plant. In fact, stove, if we on the stove, natural gas we are using, that also one of the energy sources, right? So everywhere around us, without power, you imagine, is it possible, especially at present? Because already we start to enjoy everything, right? So that power is playing a vital role in our lives, right? And we also need power for industry, agriculture, transport, communication and defense, right? So now we are going to see about power resources. Power resources generally categorized as conventional resources and non-conventional resources. See children, conventional meaning வழக்கமா ரொம்ப காலமா அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம்ல அது conventional and non-conventional like வழக்கத்திற்கு மாறாக அப்படிங்கிற meaning. So we are going to see first about conventional sources. Okay. Conventional sources of energy are those which have been in common use for a long time. Already I have told you, ரொம்ப வழக்கமா ரொம்ப காலமா அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோங்கிறது. அதான் conventional sources of energy are those which have been in common use for a long time. So that conventional sources include firewood, coal, petroleum, natural gas and hydropower. Firewood. See children, wood gives the village people and the urban poor in our country most of the energy they use for cooking and heating. So simply we can say it is widely used for cooking and heating. In fact, in our country, more than 50% of the energy used by villagers comes from firewood. In fact, we can add it one more thing here, that cow dung cake, that சாணம்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, அதையும் யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க, அந்த ட்ரைடா வச்சுக்கிட்டு அதை யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க அது. So that cow dung cake also is used as a energy resource. Okay, so firewood is widely used for cooking and heating in rural and urban poor class. Then in our country, more than 50% of the energy used by villagers comes from firewood. Generally we know wood comes from trees, right? So and a forest in the neighborhood. So and also it is a renewable natural resource, but it may become scarce. பத்தாம போகும் எப்போ? If used up faster than it can be replenished by nature. So wood is not a clean fuel, and also why? Because when it burns, it causes air pollution. Okay. Now coal. But before going to see about coal, let me explain how fossil fuels are formed. See children, already you have learnt about how petroleum is formed, coal is formed, right? So just let me recall. Remains of plants and animals which were buried under the earth for millions of years got converted by the heat and pressure into fossil fuels. So ரொம்ப வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி அந்த ரிமைன்ஸ் ஆஃப் அந்த பிளான்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் அனிமல்ஸோடைய ரிமைன்ஸ் எல்லாம் பரி ஆகி மில்லியன்ஸ் ஆஃப் இயர்ஸ் அது பூமிக்கடியிலேயே ஏர்த்துக்கடியில் இருக்கிறப்ப ஏர்த்தோட ப்ரெஷராலையும் ஹீட்டாலையும் அது ஃபாசில் ஃபியூயலாக கன்வெர்ட் ஆகுது. ஸோ ஃபாசில் ஃபியூயல்ஸ் ஆர் coal, petroleum and natural gas, right? Okay. The reserves of these minerals are limited. Yes, already we have seen what are the non-renewable sources. fossil fuel is a best example for non-renewable sources, right? Because it takes, generally fossil fuel takes millions of years to form, right? So that it is a non-renewable resource. But the rate at which the growing world population is consuming them is far greater than the rate of their formation. So கோல் அந்த ஃபாசில் ஃபியூல் ஃபார்ம் ஆகிற அந்த அந்த ஸ்பீடை விட நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுற ஸ்பீட் வந்து அதிகம். ஸோ இட் இஸ் அட் அ கிரேட் ரிஸ்க் ஆஃப் பீயிங் எக்ஸாஸ்டட். ஸோ coal is a fossil fuel, right? And it is formed by the decomposition of plant remains buried under the earth millions of years ago, right? So coal is used as the largest source of energy for generation of electricity and for smelting metals in the iron and steel industry. Yes, see smelting na enna theriyuma அந்த இரும்பை உருக்கிறது, இரும்பு உருக்காலைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அப்படியே மெல்ட் பண்ணுற ஹை டெம்பரேச்சரில் அந்த வாட் இஸ் தட், அந்த ரா மெட்டீரியலை, அந்த அயனை வந்து மெல்ட் பண்ணி பண்ணுறது தான் வந்து ஸ்மெல்டிங். ஸோ அந்த ஸ்மெல்டிங்க்கும் இந்த கோல் ரொம்ப யூஸாக இருக்குது அந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரிக்கு பேசிக்கலி. ஸோ it is extensively used in steam engine and industries like cement, brick, paper and limestone. And it is also used as a liquid fuel. See children, have you heard that now electric train is there? Okay, but before that and all, steam engine with the help of coal only it used to run. Okay, so that we saw about the usages of coal, right? And also coal is the least expensive fossil fuel to use. So it is affordable and abundantly available. Abundantly a lot, நிறைய அவைலபிளாக இருக்குது. அஃபோர்டபுள், நம்மளால் வாங்க முடிய, யூஸ் நம்ம அதை வந்து யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய லெவலில் இருக்குது, காஸ்ட்டும் சரி. ஸோ however coal is not, in fact coal is not environmental friendly because it produces a tremendous amount of carbon emissions. So we know very well carbons pollute the environment, right? So because of this climate change and global warming will happen, right? So moreover underground mining is very hazardous and dangerous. Mining sector ரொம்ப hazardous செக்டார்னு தான் சொல்லுவாங்க. பிகாஸ் ஆல்ரெடி யூ ஆர் நோன், அந்த டன்னல்குள்ளே மைனிங்குள்ளே எல்லாம் இறங்கி வேலை பண்ணுறவங்களுக்குலாம் எவ்வளோ வந்து லைஃப் த்ரெட்டனிங் இருக்குன்னு. ஸோ அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட் மைனிங் இஸ் வெரி ஹசார்டஸ். ஓகே, அண்ட் ஆல்சோ ஒன் மோர் திங் ஐ வாண்டட் டு டெல் யூ, the 4 varieties of coal are available. In fact, in Tamil Nadu, can you hear that Neyveli Lignite Corporation, NLC, Neyveli Lignite Corporation, அங்கே வந்து அந்த lignite coal, one of the variety is available. So that நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நெய்வேலி அனல் மின் நிலையத்தில் ஏதாவது ஒரு ரிப்பேரிங் ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா சம் மெகாவாட் எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி ப்ரொடக்ஷன் வந்து ஸ்டாப் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. நீங்கள் இஃப் யூ ஹியர் நியூஸ் வி கேன் கெட் திஸ் நியூஸ். பட் why I am telling you know, in Tamil Nadu NLC is that Neyveli Lignite Corporation. It is also generating electricity through coal. Okay, electricity from coal is called thermal power. So what do you mean by thermal power? Electricity from coal is called thermal power. Okay, and coal is therefore referred to as buried sunshine. Which one is referred as buried sunshine? Coal. Okay, so why is coal called buried sunshine? Because it is found buried under the earth and it is an important source of energy as sunshine, right? So that, and coal is called as buried sunshine. Got it? And so the leading coal producers of the world are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa and France. The coal producing areas of India are Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad and Pokoro in Jharkhand. Okay, these are the places located in Jharkhand. Basically Jharkhand contains more resources, especially in Jharia district coal is abundantly available. Now we are going to see about petroleum. See, petroleum is a fossil fuel, right? And it is a non-renewable source of energy, isn't it? Yes. You know, children, the word petroleum is derived from the Latin words petra. It means rock and oleum means oil. So, the word petroleum is derived from which language? Latin. So, the word petroleum is derived from the Latin words petra. Meaning of petra is rock and oleum means oil. Got it? So, petroleum in its natural form is called crude oil. So, petroleum directly we are not getting directly from earth. First stage we used to get crude oil. So, petroleum is found between the layers of rocks and is drilled from oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. Offshore means என்னது கோஸ்டல் ஏரியாலேருந்து கொஞ்சம் உள்ள கடலுக்குள்ள கோஸ்டல் ஏரியாஸ் அந்த கடற்கரை ஓரமாக ஓகேவா ஸோ வாட் petroleum is taken in on offshore and coastal areas. Then this crude oil used to send to refineries which process the crude oil and produce a variety of products like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics and lubricants. Okay, so petroleum and its derivatives அதாவது derivatives petroleum and அதிலிருந்து கிடைக்கக்கூடிய other products எல்லாமே called or are called black gold. So petroleum is also known as black gold. Which one is called as black gold? Petroleum. Actually they are very valuable, right? And the chief petroleum producing countries are Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. The other major producers are USA, Russia, Venezuela and Algeria. Then the leading producers in India are Digboi in Assam, Bombay High in Mumbai and the deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. Got it? You know children, petroleum is also called as liquid gold. Okay? See children, petroleum refineries play a vital role in industrial sectors, especially in synthetic textile, fertilizer and numerous chemical industries. Okay, so one more fact I want to tell you. Assam is the oldest oil producing state of India. Okay, then already I have told you Digboi and Krishna and Godavari deltas also produce crude oil, means petrol. See children, petroleum is used as fuel for engines in automobiles, railways and aircrafts, isn't it? Yes. You know children, agriculture is one of the largest users of petroleum based products, means derivated products. Okay, from fertilizers and pesticides to running farm machinery. In fact, petroleum is used in great variety of products like lubricants, Vaseline, many creams, wax, plastics, styrofoam, even synthetic textiles like nylon, synthetic rubber tires, dyes, drugs, in fact synthetic detergents, fabrics, etc. So, petroleum contributes in the economic and industrial development of a country in a big way. Okay. See children, one more fact I want to tell you. Kuwait and Saudi Arabia's crude oil fields are the largest. Okay. Now we are going to see about natural gas. Like oil and coal, natural gas is a fossil fuel, right? Actually it is a non-renewable fuel because already we have seen this. It takes millions of years to form deep in the earth, right? And you know children, natural gas is the cleanest of all the fossil fuels. Actually it is environmentally friendly. Okay, And natural gas is found with the petroleum deposits and is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நேச்சுரல் கேஸ் எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் அவைலபிளாக இருக்கும் அந்த பெட்ரோலியம் க்ரூட் ஆயில் ட்ரில்லிங் பிளான்ட்டுக்கு பக்கத்துலேயே தான் நேச்சுரல் கேஸையும் ட்ரில் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ இட் கேன் பி யூஸ்ட் as a domestic and industrial fuel. Children, electric utilities and the fertilizer industry are the biggest user of natural gas. Even power plants use gas to generate electricity. As well as at home we use natural gas for cooking, right? And also commercial buildings use natural gas for heating, since it is cheaper than petrol. CNG means compressed natural gas is being used as fuel in cars, trucks and buses. Then being eco-friendly, this compressed natural gas CNG causes less pollution than petrol and diesel, so that it is environmental friendly. Okay. Russia, Norway, UK and the Netherlands are the major producers of natural gas. In India, Jaisalmer, where it is located? It is in Rajasthan, right? In India, Jaisalmer, Krishna Godavari Delta, it is in Andhra Pradesh, right? And Tripura and some areas offshore in Mumbai have natural gas resources. Okay, so in India, where natural gas plants are available? In India, Jaisalmer, Krishna Godavari Delta, then Tripura and some areas offshore in Mumbai coastal areas layum the natural gas plant is there. Very few countries in the world have sufficient natural gas reserves of their own. Actually, the sharp increase in our consumption of fossil fuels has led to their depletion and at an alarming rate. நம்மளோட டெப்ளிஷன்னா இந்த ஃபாசில் ஃபியூலோடைய கன்சம்ஷன் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆக இது என்ன குறைஞ்சிக்கிட்டே வருது. பட் பேசிக்கலி இட் இஸ் நான் ரெனியூவபிள் ரிசோர்ஸஸ். ஆல்ரெடி வி நோ வெரி வெல் this fossil fuel takes millions of years to form, right? So that the sharp increase in our consumption of fossil fuels has led to their depletion. Okay. Now we are going to see about hydropower. See children, rainwater or river water stored in dams is made to fall from heights. See children, generally hydropower is energy that comes from the force of moving water, like dams, reservoirs, even falls also, because water falls from height, and the word hydro means water. So hydropower is a renewable energy source. In fact, hydroelectric energy is produced by that force of the water flow. They use turbines. Actually, these turbines are placed under the dam. When the dam water flows through pipes over these turbines, the turbine plates rotate. So, during this rotation, this force is converted into electricity with the help of generators. These generators are attached to the turbines. Okay, so then the water is after the electricity generated, the water is used for irrigation for many purposes, and also many purposes, whereas the hydroelectricity is distributed to many places through many channels of cables. So in this way we are getting hydropower. Got it? See children, 1/4 of the world's electricity is produced by hydropower. The leading producers of hydropower in the world are Paraguay, Norway, Brazil and China. Some important hydropower stations in India are Bakranangal, Gandhi Sagar, Nagarjuna Sagar and Damodar Valley projects. Okay. In fact, in Tamil Nadu, Mettur Dam, from Mettur Reservoir, we used to get electricity. So, Mettur has hydroelectric power stations. It is one of the primary sources of electricity in Tamil Nadu. Got it? You know, children, Norway was the first country in the world to develop hydroelectricity. So, which country was the first country to develop hydroelectricity? Norway. So, Norway was the first country in the world to develop hydroelectricity. Got it? So, now we are going to see about non-conventional sources of energy. See children, the increasing use of fossil fuels is leading to its shortage. Yes, of course. It is, in fact, it is estimated that if the present rate of consumption continues, the reserves of this fuel will get exhausted. So, if we use it more, it will get exhausted soon. So, moreover, their use also, the usage of fossil fuel causes environmental pollution. Therefore, there is need for using non-conventional sources such as solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, and which are renewable. So basically, these sources of energy are provided by natural sources present in nature, right? And also they are eco-friendly and do not cause pollution. So, since conventional sources of energy are depleting fast due to increased demand, already I have told you, we are using, if we consume more, it will get exhausted soon. So that non-conventional, due to demand, non-conventional sources of energy are gaining importance these days and also are referred to as the energy of the future. So, non-conventional sources of energy are referred to as the energy of the future. Okay. So, non-conventional sources, power sources, are those power sources that have come into use recently due to the depleting conventional resources and a growing awareness. Yes, because conventional power sources are those have been in use for a long time. For example, fossil fuels and firewood are examples. Already we have seen that, right? Now we are going to see about non-conventional power sources. These power sources are started to use recently. Some non-conventional sources of energy are solar energy, wind energy, nuclear power, geothermal energy, tidal energy, and biogas. Now we are going to see about solar energy. See children, solar energy is an inexhaustible and non-polluting source of heat and light energy on earth. Yes, exhaustible சீக்கிரமாக முடிஞ்சு போகிறது, inexhaustible அது முடியவே முடியாது, அதுக்கான ஆப்போசிட். ஓகே, ஸோ sun's heat and light energy can be felt by us every day. Yes, we are feeling the heat and light, right? So solar energy trapped from the sun can be used in solar cells to produce electricity. So solar energy is the heat and light energy captured from the sun. Solar cells help to convert this energy to electricity. Okay, so in fact I want to tell you one thing. Solar energy, actually India is a tropical country. Yes, it has enormous possibilities of tapping solar energy, right? So photovoltaic technology used to convert sunlight directly into electricity. Okay, this is a fact you should understand. So solar energy is fast becoming popular in rural and remote areas. Yes, now also we can see in big malls and hotels and shops and all, they used to keep solar panel, because nowadays due to avoid using more electricity, they are getting electricity from solar panel. Got it? The only drawback of solar energy is it's costly. The equipment of the solar energy is costly. Okay, but very soon it will be used widely. So now let me tell about the advantages and disadvantages of solar energy. The advantages are this is inexhaustible and non-polluting, eco-friendly, right? But disadvantages are this is expensive and diffused source so gets wasted. Okay. See children, what is the meaning of diffused source here? It is nothing but the sources can't be collected easily. Got it? Now we are going to see about wind energy. See children, wind is an inexhaustible source of energy like solar energy. Okay. Actually, earlier time, windmills have been used for grinding grain and lifting water. But in modern time, windmills, the high-speed winds rotate the windmill which is connected to a generator to produce electricity. So, wind farms having clusters of some windmills. In fact, such windmills are located in coastal regions and in mountain passes where strong and steady winds blow. Wind farms are found in Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, UK, USA and Spain are noted for their wind energy production. See children, in India, especially in Tamil Nadu, Muppandal windmill or Aralvai windmill. It is located in Kanyakumari district near Nagarkovil. It is one of the largest power station in the world because it produces in a huge quantity of megawatt electricity. So, Muppandal power station is in Kanyakumari district near Nagarkovil and also Aralvai because that Aralvai passes is there. Near to Aralvai, this Muppandal village is there. It gets wind through this Aralvai from Arabian Sea. Okay. You know children, Tamil Nadu is the leading producer of wind energy in India. Okay. Now we are going to see about nuclear power. Actually, nuclear power is energy possessed by the nuclei of atoms of naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium, thorium, etc. So, simply we can say nuclear energy is produced through nuclear reactors by using radioactivity materials like uranium and thorium. Okay. So, basically, uranium and thorium are radioactive materials, right? Because they give away radiation easily. So, this radiation converted into nuclear power by nuclear reactors. So, the energy that holds together the nucleus of an atom is called nuclear energy. The nucleus is the center part of an atom, right? So, the nuclear energy is extracted from radioactive materials such as uranium and thorium with the help of nuclear reactors. அதாவது யுரேனியம் அண்ட் தோரியமுடைய அணுவை பிளந்து எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி எடுக்கிறாங்க. அதுக்கு பேர் தான் அந்த வாட் இஸ் தட் அணுமின் நிலையம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. கல்பாக்கம் அணுமின் நிலையம், அட்டாமிக் எனர்ஜி, அதுதான். ஸோ uranium and thorium are basically radioactive materials. So that in the nuclear energy, these uranium and thorium are used. Okay. So children, the greatest producers of nuclear power are USA and Europe. In India, Rajasthan and Jharkhand have large deposits of uranium. Okay. In fact, thorium is found in large quantities in the monazite sands of Kerala. So, thorium is found in large quantities in the monazite sands of Kerala. So, the nuclear power stations in India are located in Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar near Kota in Rajasthan, Narora in Uttar Pradesh and Kaiga in Karnataka. In fact, we can add it in Kudamkulam Anumin Nilayam, Kudamkulam Atomic Energy in Kanyakumari district. That also we can add it. Okay. Now we are going to see about geothermal energy. See children, geothermal energy is the heat energy obtained from the inside of the earth. Obtain means get. So, geothermal energy is the heat energy obtained from the inside of the earth. So, the temperature inside the earth increases as we go deeper. Yes, if we go deep and deep, temperature will be high, right? So, heat will be high. This heat is used to produce electricity. Actually, it is accessed in the form of hot springs. You know, children, hot springs, generally that groundwater also absorbs heat from the rocks. When the springs, the hot water comes up on the surface, it will be so hot. This heat energy can be used to generate power. So, geothermal energy in the form of hot springs has been used for cooking, heating and bathing for several years. Actually, USA has the world's largest geothermal power plants, and after that New Zealand, Iceland, Philippines and Central America. Okay, in India, geothermal plants are located in Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Puga Valley in Ladakh. Okay, children. See, children, now we are going to see about tidal energy. Energy generated from tides is called tidal energy. Tidalனா என்னது? Waves, அந்த அலைகள், கடல் அலை. ஓகே, அந்த அலையோட ஸ்பீட்ல இருந்து எனர்ஜி ஜெனரேட் பண்றது தான் இந்த tidal energy. Right? See, tidal energy can be harnessed by building dams at narrow openings of the sea. See, children, harnessed means in this place produce. So, during high tide, the energy of the tides is used to turn the turbine installed in the dam to produce electricity. So, already we have seen the bottom of the see how to generate hydroelectricity. There the turbine is fixed in the bottom of the dam. Then the speed of the speed from the water is converted into what is that? Electricity, converted from force to electricity, right? Like that, during high tide, the energy of the tides is used to turn the turbine installed in the dam to produce electricity. Okay, in fact, Russia, France and the Gulf of Kutch in India have huge tidal mill farms. So in India, Gulf of Kutch, Kutch வளைகுடான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So in worldwide, Russia and France are the leading producers of tidal energy, but in India, the Gulf of Kutch have huge tidal mill farms. Okay, see, Gulf of Kutch is in India. Actually, it is west coast of India in Gujarat state. Okay, see, children, now we are going to see about biogas. Actually, biogas is a gaseous fuel obtained from the decomposition of organic waste like dead plant and animal material or animal dung and kitchen waste. Okay, see, organic waste such as dead plant and animal material, animal dung and kitchen waste can be converted into a gaseous fuel called biogas. Simply you can see. Okay, so the organic waste is decomposed by bacteria in biogas digesters to emit biogas, which is essentially a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. So biogas is an excellent fuel for cooking and lighting and produces huge amount of organic manure each year. See, children, decomposition of organic matter yields gas which has higher thermal efficiency in comparison to kerosene, the cow dung cake and charcoal. So it is thermal efficiency means what? It gives heat. Okay, then I want to tell you one more fact. Actually, biogas plants are set up at municipal, cooperative, and individual levels. See, children, the plants using cattle dung are known as gobar gas plants in rural India. Yes, in fact, now only LPG gas cylinder is used in many houses. Before that, before comes LPG, gobar gas was introduced by the government. In fact, government gave subsidy to make this gobar gas plant. Why? Because in order to avoid air pollution, in fact, to reduce the using of firewood and cow dung, the government took initiative to increase the gobar gas plants in every houses, especially in rural area. Yes, because in rural area only we can get dung and all. Okay, so that this the in case if you get chance, you see that gobar gas plant, big drum, and every day they will put dung in that pit. In the next day, gas will form, and in this gas through the pipeline will be connected in that kitchen. Actually, these provide twin benefits to the farmer in the form of energy and improved quality of manure. So, after extracting gas, then after that it will be used as a manure in their land. So, in the twin two benefits are there. Now, one is they are getting energy, and also and another one is improved quality of manure. Okay. So, biogas is by far the most efficient use of cattle dung. And nowadays, we can see government has taken steps to use that biodegradable wastage and all. Because that's why you can see nowadays from municipality or panchayat and all, they are collecting what is that, garbages and all. They used to segregate non-biodegradable one items and biodegradable, and they used to segregate and collect the wastages, and through that they are producing electricity. So that also we can see nowadays. In fact, it is widely followed all over the India. Okay. Now let's recall, children. Actually, now we are going to see a comparative study of conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. See, conventional sources of energy are those which have been in common use for a long time. Yes, for example, firewood and fossil fuels. At the same time, non-conventional sources of energy refers to the sources that are identified few decades ago or recently. They are used in recent years. For example, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, biogas, right? Then conventional sources of energy, for example, coal, petroleum, and natural gas, are non-renewable sources of energy. Yes, because it gets exhausted soon if we use it more. Then non-conventional sources of energy, for example, solar energy, wind energy, or renewable sources of energy, replenished quickly, right? Then most of these energy sources in conventional sources of energy, most of these energy sources, example coal and firewood, cause pollution when we use, right? Yes, but we know very well non-conventional sources of energy, for example solar power and hydel power and all, geothermal energy, these are all eco-friendly, right? Then conventional sources of energy can be exhausted due to overconsumption, already we have discussed, right? Then non-conventional source of energy cannot be exhausted, it replenished itself quickly, right? Then they are primarily used for industrial and commercial purposes. What? Conventional resources are primarily used for industrial and commercial purposes, because coal and all used in industries, right? Here, non-conventional resources are mainly used for domestic purposes, right? Then conventional resources are expensive, yes, but this non-conventional resources are comparatively less expensive. So these are the differences between conventional and non-conventional resources, sources of energy. Okay. So energy is everywhere, but we can see that harnessing this energy is both difficult as well as costly. So each one of us can make a difference by not wasting energy. So energy saved is energy generated. So energy saved is energy produced. Okay. So act now and make brighter energy future. Okay. So energy is everywhere, but we can see that harnessing this energy is both difficult as well as costly. Means என்னது, எனர்ஜி கலெக்ட் பண்ணுறதே ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம், அது இல்லாமல் அது ரொம்ப காஸ்ட்லியாகவும் இருக்கும். ரைட், இதுதான் மீனிங்கு. ஸோ ஈச் ஒன் ஆஃப் அஸ் கேன் மேக் அ டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் by not wasting energy. Got it, children? Children, we have come to the end of this chapter. I hope you all understood this chapter clearly, right? Okay, I will send the classwork in the form of PDF. You should copy it properly without spelling mistakes. Thank you, children.